everyone. This is Janicka, and I am with another audacious woman, maybe the most audacious woman in Paris, and Chiara Corazza, a doctor. She has a doctorate in public law, and believe it or not, she started her career as a journalist. And Chiara, you have been recognized woman leader of world defending noble causes for humanity, both men and women. You have made a great impact. You have also created a boost in the economy and also an equality among our society. And you have been a board member in many prestigious companies, notably the RATP and the OCDE, and also in the Arab Women's Forums. So you have really done many great things, and we're going to find out about that. And you just mentioned to me your picture that you have behind you with Christine Lagarde when you were rewarded the Légion d'honneur, and you will explain to us what you've been doing, because you've had a long career and you speak well, basically, you can speak with 2 billion people on Earth because you speak 5 languages. And of course, they're all European. But you've really done a lot. And not all of we were just talking about the real estate aspect and the Women's Forum aspect. And you've been the managing director for the past 4 years. The Women's Forum was created in 2005. And in 2007, it was already nominated by the Financial Times as one of the most influential forums in the world. So can you explain to us more what the Women's Forum was in the past and what you've done to change it for the future? Thank you.
Thank you, Janicka. Firstly, I really would like heartfully thank you, because only women can present other women in such a nice way and with such a complicity and solidarity. And this is thing that is in challenging time, is even more important. Secondly, reminded that most of my career has been dedicated to the growth of the performance in global cities, including when I created Metropolis in the latest 85, then a long time ago. And women in real estate are for me extremely important, and I'm very happy that you give me this opportunity to talk with my colleagues in the real estate, because you are designing the cities of the future where 60% of the population live. You're designing cities maybe more human, maybe more corresponding what are the expectation of women and what we want in a daily life for us and for our children, in a more inclusive city. Then I think that you are very important public, and more than ever in this so disrupting and challenging times, I really think that the most important thing to do is to be sure that women and women leadership can be fully associated to change this world and make it more inclusive. We have a collective responsibility. And then thank you again, Janicka, to give me the floor, because the recovery should be a she recovery. We cannot leave half of the planet behind in this crucial moment where the most important issues for the planet are on the floor. And we have an opportunity. We have a huge amount of money coming from all the states and public authorities that are reacting in the proper way to put money to be able to give the possibility to make an inclusive recovery. And what is one of my main objectives currently is to be sure that we can be fully associated also to take part of the capitals, the financial access of all what be the recovery, but especially that we could be fully associated to design it. Not because we are victims and that we are fearing to be left behind, but because the world needs our voice, our ambition, and our capacity to be positive and have a positive impact. Then what we're doing in the Women's Forum, more than ever, this has been a very, very important year. Since I had the honor to be at the head of the Women's Forum 2 years ago and a half, I wanted to give back to the community. I had a very interesting, very passionate, very amazing life. And as you said, I'm a doer. I don't like to talk, I want to act. And everywhere where I've been, I tried to carry on projects. I tried to make things happen, and I tried to have a positive impact. And I discovered maybe that all my life, without knowing it, I was also relying on women all the time. When I wanted something to be happen, I was calling on women. And of course, you gave the example of Christine Lagarde, that has been for me a model, a role model, and I can say a friend, inspiring me in many things and many women all around the world. But there are many others, and there are many that we have to discover and put in value, because it's all together that can advance. When you're talking about ranking, of course, the Women's Forum is certainly one of the leading, most influential platforms in the world. But that's not important. What is important that all together, like an umbrella, we are not competing with other associations. We are not competing. We are all together for the same objective. Make sure that more than ever, women will be there where they deserve to be, and they will contribute and bring their added value. And not only in women issues, of course not. What we're doing in a Women's Forum, we're dealing with climate change, we're dealing with women in STEM. It's maybe one of the most important issues. If we don't have women in the work of the future, there we can transform the world. There we have the key to be those who are, from school to the boards, able to make the difference and bring our contribution, and again, added value. We won't be away from what is happening. Same for AI. If you're not behind those who are designing the AI, it's not just a question of ethics. It's just not a question of make a dangerous word. It's just a question that we lose a part of the performance, the creativity, the innovation, and the capacity to do things. Same in a very important, and I saw that my friend in one of your videos, Marie-Claire Obli said it last week in the MEDEF. One very important issue is the business, and women empowerment in business. If we don't access to tender, if we don't access public and private tender, how can we make the difference? You have 240 million women in the world who are active as own business companies. And you know how much money we are allowed to touch? Less than 1% of public and private procurement. We have a daring circle, one of our working group, led by P&G, with other big companies that are around with us, like Publicis, BNP, and others. And we are really wanting these big companies to lead by example and change the way they provide the supply chain. More diversity in supply chain, it's a win-win system, including real estate. In real estate, it's a male world, as you know, and again, women don't have access to capital in the same way and to financing in the same way. This is a big issue. And I have to confess, Janicka, that it's one of the big issues that we're rising and finding solution. Then we will bring to the G7 leaders. Next week, I will send a letter to all the head of state and government of the G7 countries, all the ministers of finance and economy of the G7 countries, all the ministers of gender equality of the G7 countries, and all the ministers of health, saying, the G7 summit, we don't know when or if it will take place, because it's not our decision, but all the work that we did collectively this year to prepare a better world for everybody and propose concrete, simple, feasible measures to the head of state and government, we cannot miss this opportunity, because the word of tomorrow will not be the word of yesterday. And the word of tomorrow will certainly be a word where the woman will be there to make the difference. Look, during the crisis, we saw that the 19 head of state and government of women did it better.